But also, I want to ask, too, about what's happening in Florida where this happened. You're in Florida right now, and your governor, Ron DeSantis, had said that the state is now launching its own criminal probe into this assassination attempt, pushing for the suspect, Ryan Wesley Routh, to be charged with attempted murder. And he flagged a very critical conflict of interest. Here's what he had to say.
We're going to be doing a state-level investigation. I understand that the feds are involved, but we do believe that there were multiple violations of state law. We also believe that there's a need to make sure that the truth about all this comes out in a way, that's credible. I mean, I look at the federal government with all due respect to them. Those same agencies that are prosecuting Trump in that jurisdiction are now going to be investigating this. I just think that may not be the best thing for this country.
Now, Ron DeSantis raises some pretty interesting stuff, and if you think about the implications of it, that's pretty big. What did you make of that?
Well, I think my governor wants to send the message that Florida is not the place to do any crimes, let alone crimes like this, because they will take it very seriously. As you know, I moved here from New York, where crime is basically not prosecuted anymore. And it's a very different situation in Florida. They absolutely do not play. And at his point about the same agencies that are prosecuting Trump will be the ones defending him here, listen, that's a really strong point. And I trust my governor to get to the bottom of this, and I trust him to be transparent about it. And that's really the key part here.
Yeah, now I want to move on now to the issue of these migrant gangs, which we've seen in Aurora, Colorado, and other places. A couple of weeks on this program, we had a report from Aurora about the takeover of apartment blocks and so on. You've written a fantastic piece here about how, though, this gang problem, which has suddenly emerged into the headlines in the last few weeks, this didn't happen just overnight, as so many problems don't. Tell us about the roots of where this all comes from.
So it's been years that these people have been coming across the border, and there have been a range of alarm bells being rung about it. They all have very specific kind of tattoos. Michael Jordan is a very popular tattoo in the gang, clocks, trains, they're identifiable. And the fact is that nothing has been done about it. And you know what really is so hard to get over for a place like Aurora? Aurora is not a sanctuary city. I don't know if you have that in Australia, but in the US, a sanctuary city is where they basically look the other way about illegal immigrants. They don't communicate whatsoever with federal agencies to send illegal immigrants out of the country. They don't have any kind of negative anything about illegal immigrants. They basically welcome them. Places like New York pay them. So Aurora is not a sanctuary city, but it doesn't matter because Denver is right next door and it is a sanctuary city. So these gang members got to Denver where they would be treated very nicely and spilled over into Aurora. And that's the kind of thing that's going to happen everywhere. There's a saying now in America, every town is a border town, and that's really what's going on here.
Fascinating. No, we don't have sanctuary cities. We just have student visas. It's a slightly different thing, but the results are kind of the same. Now, on Thursday, another story, we had a jury find members of the African People's Socialist Party guilty of conspiring to act as foreign agents. The DOJ said that between 2015 and 22, the group, now this is where it gets interesting, acted on behalf of the Russian government and received support as well as money from the president and founder of the anti-globalization movement of Russia group. Tell me about this. This seems like a very curious backdoor foreign interference case. What do you make of it?
This does not surprise me one bit. In the 2016 election, that we've been involved in this Russiagate conspiracy theory that Democrats have had for the last few years, accusing Donald Trump of basically being, a Russian spy. They have not an iota of evidence. There's absolutely zero. But the only thing that they've kind of identified that Russia actually did do during the 2016 election is that they targeted black voters, black leftist voters, to vote not for Hillary Clinton, but to vote for the Green Party candidate at the time. And so what you have is, they're basically just trying to cause chaos. But targeting black leftists is at the top of Russia's list. I think that you have a situation where they're trying to cause chaos wherever they can. And if they got into this group of socialists, I think it's easy to say that they can get into other leftist groups as well.
Yeah, I think nobody thinks about those leftist infiltrations by Russia. It's all on the right. That's where the Russia stuff is. Karol Markowicz, thank you so much for your time. Now,